Yes! No! Checkmate.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Free Game Podcast. I'm here with Holden.
Hey!
There it is, dude. We
Welcome.
Did it. Today it's a very, very special episode today for us.
Really? It's special for me.
Yeah. Well, that's why.
Oh, okay.
You're 45% of this podcast, dude. Sorry. You're probably, honestly, I mean, you do the editing, so
Yeah.
you're probably a little over 50%. Social media is tough, though, but I'm behind on that.
I think,
anyway.
you know what? How about we just say 50-50?
All right, dude. Shake
Because-
on it.
Okay.
50-50.
50-50. I think that's the first time I've ever touched your hand.
Can I get that in writing?
No.
That is 50-50. Not
no.
the hand thing.
Oh.
I'm like, are you sure?
On this day,
Yeah,
Justin and Holden
promise.
touched hands.
Yeah. All right, so
Also, this is your one-stop shop for all things budget gaming. Go on.
yes, it is mine, and it is our listeners' one-stop shop as well.
Okay.
Today, as you know, from
I know.
having and people that clicked on the episode probably know by now, unless they don't even look at the title.
Yeah.
Or they're blind, but they probably do. Do blind people use smartphones?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it will
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah. What's what?
But because you can't do Braille.
No.
That'd be so sweet. One day you'll be able to, probably.
You probably.
Anyway.
I think one day they'll just be able to see.
Yeah.
Before
That's
I think before we
Yeah.
talk about how amazing it would be for blind people to be able to use Braille on a cell phone,
yeah.
I think that them being able to see is probably more of
Yeah.
a technological.
We're probably closer to that as well.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know how to introduce this because I want you to guess what year. Okay, today's topic:
Uh-huh.
Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins.
Correct.
Pretty big game.
Yeah.
You know. Do
Yeah,
you
for
know
the
what
Game
year
Boy.
it came out?
I'm gonna
Go ahead and
guess. Jeez. 2000?
1992.
Dang it. That
Makes
was
a lot
way
more
off.
sense. Yeah. 2000, dude.
Yeah, I
don't
didn't
know.
want to go too old. My first guess was going to be 1998, but honestly, I have a really, really hard time remembering when each Game Boy came out. Like Game Boy versus Game Boy Advance versus
And
this.
I don't even.
92.
Dude,
I
I would've
should have
guessed, like,
freaking known, dude.
I would have either guessed like 2001 or 85.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true.
right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
This game sold over 10 million copies.
That's a lot.
Dude, for 92,
Yeah,
it's one of the most successful and highest rated games from the Game Boy.
nice.
It's a sequel, obviously, to Super
Mario
Mario
Land.
Land. Have you played Super Mario Land?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, here's a direct quote from the Wikipedia article.
Okay.
Reviewers emphasized that the game surpassed its predecessor in all aspects.
Yeah, that makes sense because this one is on the Nintendo Switch Game Boy
Mhm.
Virtual Console, and the first
As of
one is not.
2023.
Yeah,
That's barely. It just came out.
yeah. Like a little over 30 years later, it's now out.
That's crazy.
On the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2011, you could download it on the 3DS,
Okay.
but now, like you just said,
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
That's
It's so
great.
exciting.
So there's like a anti-hero / villain / prominent character.
Yep.
I didn't know this till
It's his
just
first
now.
time
This is-
being introduced
yeah.
into the Mario cinematic universe.
His name is,
Wario.
spoiler alert, his name
Yeah.
is,
Wario.
yeah, there you go.
What?
If you don't want this game spoiled,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
from 92,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have clicked on that
Yeah,
episode.
sorry, I
buddy.
spoiled
So
it.
Wario's coming, just so you know. I
Yep.
actually didn't know that until
I did know that.
just now.
Yeah.
And
And everybody freaking loved him so much that
Oh.
Wario Land.
Wario.
Mario Land. Please be right. Mario Land either 3 or 4 was actually Super Mario Land. It was like Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land, blah 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 blah,
Mhm.
which is really confusing.
Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3 is the
That's what it's
title,
called?
according to Wikipedia.
And I'm pretty sure that game is also on.
Really?
Like, yeah, let me check. I think it's.
So I don't
Yep.
know.
Wario Land 3. Boom, right there.
Wow.
It's on the Game Boy thingy as well.
Well, that might be a different one. Is it
Wario Land 3, I'm pretty sure, is Super Mario Land
3?
3.
Oh.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this doesn't.
Yeah.
So,
But we're not talking about
All right.
Wario Land today.
No. I'm gonna get real honest with you, man.
Okay.
Right off the bat.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I had such a hard time with this game.
Really?
Dude, it was so frustrating.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
First of all, I still don't really know how any of it works.
Okay, I'll explain it.
Matter of fact, I'll save that for later. Go ahead.
What do you mean?
What
Explain
this
the
game is
game?
like.
Okay.
I played it. I played the Game Boy original version, which is, I mean, it's green and black, but it's black and white.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You played the color. I don't even know how to do that.
I can show you. So for anybody interested in playing the Game Boy Color version of it, close. I guess start that. Oh, okay, yeah. So I think that you need to go to Game Selection. I think that you need to go to Settings, and then you go Game Boy Color. Boom, easy. So now it's in Game Boy Color mode.
All right. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like oranges and blues and stuff, and that's due to the fact that Nintendo had the foresight that they were going to have a color version of their Game Boy games. So they kind of just like went back and said like, hey, every value that's like this in a Game Boy game, we're gonna have it be this color in a Game Boy Color
planning
game,
ahead.
which is crazy.
That is crazy. By the way, Wario Land 3 is not the same as Wario Land Super Mario 3.
It's not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But that doesn't matter. Today we're talking
matter.
about Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins.
Yeah. So Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins is a Game Boy game that came out in 1992. It's like
Just
do it again.
The whole thing. You're like, I'm gonna edit the rest out.
Yeah, and it's a game where you play in different lands.
Okay. It's
right? Or like
2D.
Yeah, it's a 2D platformer. Yeah, it's just like a 2D Mario platformer. You jump on Goombas, you jump on other things.
Yoshis.
Sometimes. And
is that argument? I feel like I'd get crucified for calling them Yoshi.
There's no Yoshi in this game.
I know.
Yoshi first came out in Super Mario World.
Well, you said sometimes.
Yeah, I was just joking.
I know. You were trying to make me feel good.
Yeah,
I know there's no Yoshi, and I know that Yoshis isn't a thing.
There are multiple Yoshis.
I mean, yeah, but like as an enemy in a game,
no,
you're not fighting Yoshis.
No, you're not. I hope not. I'm pretty sure you never fight Yoshis. So, there's like different lands in the game. They call them zones.
That is one thing I learned.
Really?
Because I got to Tree Zone.
Yep. Yeah. So Tree Zone. Every zone has 3 different levels.
Okay. Just 3.
Just 3.
Okay.
And Tree Zone is kind of special because there are technically 4 different levels, but there's just 2 different paths.
Oh.
So you can go either. So
you only have to do 3.
Yeah.
And each of these, do you get a golden coin?
Yes.
So
there's 6 zones.
Okay.
There's 6 golden coins, and then the golden coins unlock the last zone, which is the castle that Wario has taken over.
Okay.
And so before we get into all that sort of stuff, let's talk about the fact that this game is on a Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that this game is on a Nintendo Switch is because recently Nintendo decided to be so cool as to put a bunch of Game Boy games on the Switch for free if you buy a yearly subscription to Nintendo Switch Online, which is so cool.
Did you already have that before they announced this?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So it was just like an added
$20
bonus.
a year.
Yeah, $20 a year is nothing.
For Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah.
We played Animal Crossing, so that's mostly why we got it.
Yeah.
And maybe Fortnite too. My wife plays a lot of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's so dope that they would just give that out. And on that, there's a lot of different Game Boy games that you can play. This is one of the better ones, I would say.
Probably. 10 million copies sold.
Yeah, yeah. It's very good. And they're, it's just like any other Mario game. There are power-ups. 3 different power-ups. There's mushrooms, fire flowers, and then there's a carrot. And the carrot is kind of like... It's not in any other
bunny ear kind of thing.
It's not in. I don't think it's in any other game.
So I found all 3 types
mushroom.
of power-up.
I don't think there's any other kind of Mario game. I don't think so. And you turn into like a bunny, so that you can like flap your ears and fly. Basically, like slowly you can just kind of like hover a little bit.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. It's great. And then because it's on the Switch, There's something pretty dope that you can do that helps me get through the game quicker and have more fun.
Okay.
And it's save states. So as you're playing through the game, at any time you can press both ZR and ZL, like this. Then you can go down to create suspend point, press A, and then you can basically save.
If I would have known that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I would do is every time that I started a level,
Uh-huh.
I would create a save point.
Smart.
Because if you don't do that, and you don't have to do it,
Mm-hmm.
you can play through the game, you know, like
without
doing any of that.
Just normal.
But I will recommend, you're going to need so many lives.
Mm-hmm.
I had this game on my Game Boy, and I never beat it. I got all the way to the end. I got to Wario's castle. Okay? It took me a couple months to get there.
Just because
I'm not very good at the game.
No save. What are they called?
There's no save points.
So you have to do it all with. Does it give you 10 lives? Or
I don't know how many
you
lives.
Can find more.
Yeah, I have 31 lives right now on my Switch version, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that I had like 28 by the end of my time in what's it called on my Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
But so every time you die, you lose a life, obviously, and then if you lose all of your lives,
Mm-hmm.
you lose all the coins that you've collected so far.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get all 6 golden coins and then you lose at Wario's castle, you
Mhm.
have to play the entire game over again. So it's
Ex-
horrifying.
That was the case
Until save points.
if you played on the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the way that I would recommend you to get lives, there's one level, I think that it's in the Mario zone. I think so.
Okay.
No, it's in the house zone. I think it's called like the macro
List all
zone
the
or
zones
something.
real quick.
Okay.
Mushroom.
There's the tree zone. Oh, the mushroom is like the very first area that you
Okay.
go to, and that's just like
I did beat that
it's
one.
just like an homage to Mario games.
It just kind of introduces you.
Like
to
you
the
can't. I don't even think that you can go back to it after you
No.
beat it.
So you're in a.
In like a world, you're like
You're
on
in
an
a world.
island area,
There's a little doorway.
Yeah.
That's a mushroom. You go in there. You beat Mushroom Zone.
and then you
Easy.
can walk around this world, and there's a bunch of different zones that you can
Yeah.
go to.
And I went to Tree Zone.
Yeah, which is mostly like the one that people go to first because it's just right there.
And okay, list the rest of them.
So there's Tree Zone, there's Turtle Zone, which is really dope. Mario Zone, Pumpkin Zone, Macro Zone, and then I think the last one is called like Space Zone.
Okay, I think you're right.
And so, there's also like a couple secrets hidden on the map, and
Mhm.
one of them is right outside of the mushroom, to the right. There's this little cave that you can go into.
Oh, I did go into that.
Okay, and there's a bunch of different pipes
Uh-huh.
with different amounts of coins on them. And it's like I don't have enough coins to do one right now, so I can't show you.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
you
like
buy it.
Yeah, you buy in, and then there's like not a roulette wheel. What's it called?
Oh,
When there's like those
yeah,
ones that
yeah.
have the little flapper on it that you spin the wheel, and then it's like dig, 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 dig,
Like
dig,
it's
dig.
slowing it down.
It's slowing it down, and then it goes
Like
on
a
to one.
Price is Right.
Yeah, like a
kinda.
Price is Right sort of thing, right?
I did that.
And on there you can get lives.
Mm.
And so the best thing to do is go around, collect a bunch of coins, go in there and just try and get as many lives as you can, and power-ups, which is also good. Because, yeah, lives are going to be super important while you're playing through this game. Or
Valjean is being such a good boy right now.
Yeah, he is.
Calm
he really
sitting
is.
on my lap.
Yeah.
Good boy.
And so after you beat a zone, a little flag shows up at the top of it, and that means that you got your coins, right?
Okay.
So, I did beat the game, so I have all the zones all figured out and everything. And now we can just kind of talk through the zones.
Okay.
So
you did beat the game on this most recent playthrough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I did not finish Tree Zone.
Okay.
I did finish Mushroom Zone.
Okay.
Does that mean I got a golden coin?
No, you have no golden coins.
I did not get a golden coin.
Dude,
last night
you were trying so
I was
hard.
trying so hard.
Yeah.
I was like, I just need to play more.
Sorry.
I just need to keep playing.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do, dude. The save thing.
It's so good because did you ever get halfway through the level and there's a checkpoint? There's like a little bell that you ring.
Okay, is that what that bell is?
Yeah.
I
So
never
then if you
figured
die,
out.
you start at the center. You start right at that bell.
Oh.
Yeah. And
But
so
there's one at the end too.
Yeah, there's one at the end where if you ring that, then I guess you get more points or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, so you hit the bell and then you get a checkpoint. I would always also set up a save point right there. Just so that I kind of got like the same feel for how the game was supposed to go, but just without losing a bunch of lives.
Right.
And it helped me get through the game. And then if there was a particularly annoying part that I was dying a lot at, I would just put a save point right in front of it and just try and get it. And then after I was done with it, I would put a save point there.
So
I was pretty cheeky with it. I
would have been too.
cheating a lot.
It's not cheating.
Yeah.
Speaking of cheating, I kind of cheated for this episode of the podcast. Today I watched I didn't even finish this. I watched a speed run.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I didn't even finish the video.
Okay.
But I was like, I just need to be more familiar with more of the game.
Yeah.
And I don't have time to.
Huge garbage truck just drove by.
Coming to take my trash.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some pretty cool zones.
There are. I watched it and I was like, oh, this is in color.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was even a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a GameBoy yet.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not there yet.
Man. I'm getting there.
I had
a hard time with this game.
Yeah. Do you think that now that you know about save points, you're probably going to go back and try it a little bit more?
We'll see.
You're not going to.
We'll see, man.
We'll have more We'll have more stuff that I can kind of get you into like 2D platforming, like the 2D platforming genre.
Yeah,
because
it's hard for me, and
I'm so bad at 2D platforming. Like I'm so bad at Mario games.
I understand they're very significant culturally.
Yeah.
Some people like only play this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was born in 1997, so
February 1st.
Yeah, February 1st.
Yeah, 1997.
So it's not. It's there's no nostalgia to it for me. It's not sentimental, so it's like I really have to push myself to play a 2D platformer.
Yeah.
Dead Cells, that's kind of different.
It's like that's like a 2D platforming. It's like 2D platforming is the medium, but the content is so much different than that. It's like an action roguelite sort of a thing.
But anyway.
So let's talk through the zones.
Okay.
I have some notes here that I wrote on it. So to give you perspective on how easy the game is when you have the save points, I played this game on the flight to Florida for about an hour there and then an hour back because I was sleeping and, not I was watching, I watched Nope. Super good. Flight? Super good movie.
Really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I fell asleep during the third quarter of that movie, but
you have a problem in starting things and not finishing them.
No. You have a problem, not me, dude. Look, man, I'm honest and upfront about that kind of stuff. All right? I fall asleep during movies recently.
Yeah.
I got a lot on my plate. Getting older, man. I'm juggling more things in life. I'm trying to figure it out. But when I commit, I'll commit. If it weren't for this trip I had to go on, I probably would have finished this game. If I didn't learn about save points, I mean, that's pretty big, man.
You might not have finished.
I didn't have 10 hours.
It took me a long time to play it when it was on my GameBoy because there are some bosses that are pretty difficult.
That is good.
What was that sound? Oh, are you drinking something right now?
That's a little slurp.
What is that?
This is a, how do you say it? Rain Total Body Fuel.
Oh.
Orange Dream Sickle.
You like it?
I've been on a orange sickle flavored things.
Dude, me too.
Recently.
Me too, dude.
I was looking for one of my favorite energy drinks, which is a Rockstar Whipped Orange.
It might have been like a limited time thing.
No, it's not. I had one on my trip recently. They just don't sell them in a lot of places. They sell the whipped strawberry, which isn't as good.
Whipped?
But I want the orange. The strawberry, they both have cream in it, which I think changes the game for an energy drink, dude. It's so nice. Yeah. I like it a lot. Anyway.
It does make me a little bit uncomfortable when I drink something that doesn't have cream in it and it tastes creamy. That makes me feel weird.
Oh.
There's this thing that I get from Winco. It's like these carbonated water like bottles.
Okay.
But they're like kind of big. Okay. And they have a peach cream and a strawberry cream flavor.
Yeah.
They're
I like
so
those.
Good.
Those are good. It's like it's clear, like it's not.
Yeah.
There's no added colors and.
Yeah.
They're sugar free, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're super cheap.
Yeah, they're good. They're cheap. They're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like those, but
Budget
I'm kind of like,
drinks.
where's the cream coming from?
Budget drinks.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Those are good though.
Yeah, and then sorry, just having a sip of some mate.
Oh yeah, you're drinking mate again.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Wow. I guess not again because this
is the same day,
and this will come out before the free game chat.
Oh yeah, so I'm drinking it for the first time.
Okay. And
what?
You're like, I'll tell you about it next week.
Yeah. So each of the zones have really, really interesting themes to them. This game is so creative in the themes that it
I would agree
does. Well, you know one of them.
Well, I saw
you saw the video. So the tree zone has 3 levels, 2 different paths, and it's just as it sounds. You are on a tree. So the first level, you're kind of like on the roots of the tree. Going
that
through.
level, dude, I freaking owned that level.
Yeah,
and I was
nice.
like, all right, dude, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then I got to the second level.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Sap? Oozy? What is it?
Yeah, it's like goo
It's
blocks.
sap?
I think it's sap.
Okay,
I think it's supposed to be sap.
That one was tough.
That one's really fun.
A lot of spikes.
Yeah, with the spikes. And so it's really interesting. So on the first level, there's like frogs and like dragonflies. It's almost like you're in a bayou sort of area. It's really nice.
It's cool.
I remember because that was like the first actual level that I did when I played it the first time. And I was on my Game Boy Advance, my tricked out Game Boy Advance. And I was having a really hard time with it because, you know, the game...
I think the reason...
It's a little old. It still feels good, though.
Yeah, it is cool how creative they got with it.
Yeah.
All the different enemies and types of things. Because, like, the space, the whole gravity, like, the mechanics are different.
Yeah.
The physics. But that first tree zone, I really liked it. I think the reason I did so well on it was because I had the... is it the flower that gives you the fireballs?
Yeah, fire flower.
So I had that. So that made a world of difference.
Yeah.
And I was killing it, dude.
Definitely, dude.
But then I lost it in the sappy level 2 tree zone thing.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
And,
the rest is history.
The rest is history, man.
But yeah, something that what was I gonna say? I had a thought about the game. Oh yeah, something that's super, super important about this game. If you're playing it handheld, it can feel a little bad because of the way that the buttons are laid out. Because when I play a Mario game, I want to be able to rock my thumb from running to jumping. It's just what feels the best to me. And so I had to go into my Switch's system settings because they did something kind of dumb with the Switch version of the Game Boy games.
Where they made, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. They made A, jump, and B, run.
Okay.
And so when you're running to jump... you have to like kind of like switch your finger over. It's kind of hard to explain. But like your thumb is at a diagonal. When you're holding your Switch, your thumb is at a diagonal pointing from like the bottom left to the top, or the bottom right to the top left, right?
Yep.
And so what feels the best for me when I'm playing games, and this is the way that the Game Boy is set up, is that...
Is it because they're on the D-pad on the Game Boy?
What? No.
Like run and jump?
No, the Game Boy is just 2 buttons. And it's just A and B, and they're in a diagonal like that.
Oh, yeah.
To where your thumb is, right? And so what you would do is you would hold B to run, which is at like the top left.
And then you can just kind of...
A to jump, so you can just kind of go like this.
Knuckle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it feels really good to play that way. So you can go into your Switch's system settings and change the button layout.
So it's B and Y?
Yeah. So I put Y as B and B as A, which it's annoying. And if you're playing any other game, you got to change it back.
Yeah.
But it feels really good for playing this game.
That makes a lot of sense.
I wish that they had a way of doing that within the Game Boy thing to just be like, hey,
permanent?
Game Boy controls. And you're like, okay, there you go, Game Boy controls. Yeah. Because no Game Boy games have 4 buttons. You know, so it's like, why are we using these?
That shows how little I know about Game Boy games.
Why?
That's fine. I mean, I didn't even know that there was only 2 buttons.
So yeah, that's
I have
or
a DS
even if
now.
you could make, I don't know, just fix it, guys.
That's
seriously, Nintendo.
All you're
just fix
saying
it.
is, if it really bugs you, you can do what you
can.
did.
Yeah.
Just change it every time you play.
If you know what is gonna
bark.
feel good, you can just go into your system settings and change it. So that's what I did on the whole flight, and that made the game so much better for me. So much better of an experience. I just wanted to quickly go through that. So, tree zone. You're in a tree. Bottom of it, you're on the roots. Then you kind of get into like the middle of the tree. So there's a bunch of sap, and you're like, the sap is this stuff where you can land on it, and then you slowly start to fall through it. But then if you jump, you can jump. You can like jump through it, right? It's really fun.
I didn't know if it was sap or like water at first. So I was like, am I gonna drown if I stay in this too long? No, you don't. And in fact, there's a lot of areas where you like if you just work your way through the sap, there's a hidden spot where you get a free life or something. Yeah,
it's really cool.
Even though it's hard to chase it down once it comes out of the box.
Yep.
It zooms away.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
Is it the first level on Tree Zone or the second where it's where the spin move is introduced?
Oh, you can do the spin move
the whole time? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Spin move is really important. You can only do the spin move as Big Mario. Just so you know.
Really?
Yeah, you can't do it as little baby tiny Mario. This is just like every other Mario game where you basically have like 3 hits, or if you have a power up, right? So the first hit takes away your power up, the second hit makes you small Mario, and then if you get hit again, Mario dies.
Oh, so you can do you don't need a mushroom to do the spin move. A mushroom is a power up.
Yeah, a mushroom is a power up from small Mario. But then if you're Big Mario,
you start as small Mario.
I think that you start as Big Mario.
Okay. So you can get a mushroom and then another power up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you go through here, and then there's 2 zones that you can go after that. There's like the ant zone and then the bee zone. I didn't do the bee zone. I should have. I went
Sounds scary.
The ant way, and you're in the tree. Like you're in the foliage now. And it's really interesting because you're like jumping on leaves and you're climbing up this huge level. It's really fun. There's a ton of ants everywhere, and ants have different power-ups in this game. Wow. Where like some of them have spiky, some of them are spiky, some of them have little cannons on their head that they shoot bullets at you, and
just like real life.
Yep. And it's really I think that it might be like bullet ants.
Okay, bullet ants and
spiky ants.
Poker ants.
Yep, exactly. And then the very last level you fight,
not to be confused with gambler ants.
Is that a thing?
That play poker. The poker ants are spiky, but they don't play poker.
Correct.
Gambler ants play poker, and they smoke. It's a tough crowd to get into because if you owe them money, anyway. Yeah,
you don't want to owe the gambler ants money.
No. Poker ants, though,
chill guys.
Dumb as a doorknob.
Yeah,
they're just spiky.
Yep. They're like, if everything's a nail. If you're a hammer, everything's a nail.
If everything's a nail, you want to be the hammer. That's Mario for you.
Yep. And so yeah, the very last level is like it kind of works like this in every 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, there's 4. There's 4 zones, or there's 4 levels.
Yeah, but you said you don't have to do all 4.
No, you actually do, because there's the first one, then there's the second one, tree one, and then the last one is where you fight the bird.
Oh, so there's 5
this one has
total.
4. Has 5 total.
Okay.
But I think the other levels only have 3. Or other zones only have 3.
So is there before Tree Zone, there's Mushroom Zone.
That's just
only one level?
One level, and it's just to get you into the game.
Okay. Because it had to have been Mushroom Zone. I mean, it took me like 6 lives to finish it, dude.
It's okay.
And when I had no extra lives left is when I finally finished it and moved on to Tree Zone. Dude, so frustrating.
Yeah.
I was not good at this game. Here's the thing. Here's one thing that you know what? Yeah, I mean, okay. Here's one thing that just I couldn't. When you jump, he lands and then he kind of will like slide a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
And that just killed me so many times. You slide right into a little spiky.
You know what makes the game a little bit easier? If you use the D-pad instead of the joystick, because you have a lot more control over where you move.
All these things, man.
Because if you're using the joystick, it feels nice. Like it feels better than using the D-pad, like physically. But once you lift your finger off the D-pad, you stop moving. But on the joystick, you kind of have to like let go.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a lot to like get yourself to stop. There was a couple points where I needed like precise movement, and I switched to the D-pad.
There's a lot of points where you need that.
Yeah.
It's things like that. We'll talk about this in the Breath of the Wild episode. I was playing with my brother-in-law,
Uh-huh.
who's beat the game multiple times. I got a lot of tips from him.
Nice, dude.
Because this is this is just, I'll say it now. I wasn't planning on telling you this.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to not look anything up.
Good.
For Breath of the Wild, I was like, I'm just gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
I think I've already looked something up.
That's fine.
We'll talk about it. But if I would just learn like different things about the game, like just, I mean, look at the menu because it says like Z and R or whatever to open up the thing. Anyway, if I would just learn about the game, it would probably make it a lot better.
Yeah.
And that's probably the case for every game.
Yeah.
So
I think that's kind of, but it's a task, you know, to like learn about a game like that on your own.
You know what? We'll teach you the tips and tricks, dude.
We will?
We will.
Yeah, of course. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
These are your tips and tricks.
Dude.
Yeah, like with Dauntless, there was kind of a point where I kind of started putting it down a little bit more because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And this is hard, and or it's not hard. It's just like I don't know what I'm doing.
Takes a lot of work.
And then the more that I'm just like, you know, I'm just gonna freaking sink my teeth into it and read what people are telling me and figure this out. The more I'm enjoying it. And I could just look up a video on it, but a lot of the times YouTube videos talking about Dauntless and a lot of games, it can get really overwhelming because they're talking about stuff that's like, yeah, and this new season pass.
It's
and
like
blah, blah, blah.
us in the Marvel Snap Revisited episode. If
you
don't play Marvel Snap, that episode,
it's
pointless.
Yeah. Or like in the free game chat that we're gonna release after this one, we talk about Marvel Snap a little bit. Yeah. And if you don't know a lot about Marvel Snap, you know,
might as well be dead air.
Yeah, exactly. But if you've listened to our previous Marvel Snap episodes, then it'll be easily understood, I think. And if you play a little bit.
If you play.
Yeah.
Even if you've listened to the first one, it's still, I mean, it might be interesting. Anyway, this doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then at the end of the last level, you can fight the bird.
That's the top of the tree.
That's the very top of the tree. You fight this bird.
Do you have to go through a level, or is it just a boss fight?
There's a little bit of a level.
Okay.
Which makes it, you know, a little bit more challenging. But most of the time...
Because you have to survive that and then the boss.
Yeah, but most of the time they give you a power-up, like, a little bit before your boss.
So, how
that's
hard
always
is the
a good
boss
time.
Fight?
It's easy. All the
Really?
like most of the bosses in this game are pretty easy.
Okay.
There are 2 bosses in this game. Dude, we'll get to it, but there was one time I was playing the game on my TV, and
so not
I just
on the
kept,
airplane.
Yeah, I got home.
Okay.
I played it for like 3 hours and then I beat it. So I played this game for probably a total of like, I mean, let's see.
5?
Maybe. I can actually check how long I've been playing on the GameBoy thing on my profile. And that'll tell us a good estimation of how long I've been playing Mario, because that's like the only game I've been playing.
It's like 20.
No. Come on. It just loaded and now it's having a really hard time loading. Yeah, 5 hours.
Okay.
And I beat it. So it's not that.
That's not bad.
No.
Pretty good for a very budget game.
If you don't set up your save things and you want this game to last,
it'll last.
It'll last. This game is... I watched a YouTube video about this game a couple years back, and I remember the guys in it were talking. They're like, this is one of those games that you can just pick up and beat in a day. It's real easy, real simple. I'm like, maybe for you, not for me.
If you're really good at 2D platformers.
Oh, yeah, maybe. But for me, this game has like the old school, little bit BS feel, where it's like, really? That's what we're doing? We're doing that. And then if I die, I lose all of my progress and have to go all the way back to the beginning. So, that's kind of how old game developing worked, to where it was like, if we just make the game really, really long, it'll feel like they got their money's worth. How do we make it long? Let's make it absurdly difficult, right? Rather than putting a lot of content in. Because before it was like arcade games.
A lot of limitations.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty forgivable because, like, back in the day, dude, in the 90s or the early 2000s, you get a game and it's this game and it's like, this is the new game. You're going to play it a lot anyway. I think that's fine. I mean, there's nothing like, it's not slimy or anything.
And in the early 90s, like, these games were steep, dude. Like, the pricing for these games are like almost the same as what they are now. Like it was like $50
adjusted
for a Game Boy game. Yeah, adjusted for inflation, you're spending like $80 on a freaking game. Imagine if you just played through it and you're like, wow, that was a waste of money. I played for 5 hours, you know?
And my wife has told me a lot about, like, when they were little, they'd gather around her dad while he plays through a Zelda game. And it's like they love doing that. And of course, because it's like...
It's an experience.
So it's
like
cool because when there were less games, the games were just more valuable. They meant more.
Yeah. There are some games out there that I think are a little bit too absurd. Like, for example, Legend of Zelda 2. It's too hard.
Really?
It's so insanely difficult.
If I had a hard time with this.
Dude. But it's different hard.
Okay.
We'll talk about that game later. So you get through Tree Zone, and now, like, first of all, you can go to any zone you want to right away. But this is the way that. Yeah, this is the way that I went through it.
Tree Zone. Turtle Zone.
One coin down. I got 1 coin, and then there's a little animation where the coin spins down and then goes into one of the slots. It's really fun.
And you hit save, you know.
Save point. Oh yeah. I put a save point.
You're
after
like
that.
2 of them.
Yeah, there was actually a couple times when it's kind of difficult because load and create save suspend point are right next to each other, and sometimes you're getting like you're doing it really fast in succession. So there were times when instead of hitting create, I hit load. So then I went back and I had to do it again. That sucked.
That's tough, dude.
Yeah. There was a time.
3 hours.
There was a time when I was like, do I really want to do this again? Do I really want to
actually so do this?
And I did. I was so disappointed. The next one that I went to was Turtle Zone. And so you go down and then this turtle eats you up and you go inside of him. And this is your water level.
Okay.
This one only has three levels to it. I love this level. Okay. I'm normally not a fan of water levels.
Those are usually some of the most difficult.
Yeah, this one is awesome. Okay. So your first zone is your basic water level. You got cheeps, the little fish. You got sharks, and you're just swimming along. Second one, you're in like a sunken submarine, and you're going
big
through
turtle then, huh?
Yeah.
This guy's been around.
Yeah, I guess. I don't think that you're inside a turtle.
Well, you just said you're inside, aren't you?
Well, I'm kind of like underwater, and I don't know where I am.
Oh, he pooped you out in the ocean.
Yeah, okay. And then the last one, you're inside a whale.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, so you're inside a whale, turtle. Inside a turtle.
It's like a turducken.
Yeah. A turducken.
Jonah, or what? Jonas? Which one is it? In the whale?
Jonah. It's Jonah. And it's really cool. The third level, you're inside a whale, and that's where you fight the octopus guy. So there's an octopus inside a whale. An octopus inside a whale, inside a turtle. Dude. Yeah.
And octopus is the boss.
Yeah, and he's pretty easy.
Easy?
He's really easy.
Is he cool, though?
Yeah, he's cool.
I love octopuses.
Yeah.
I know that's not the term, but
it's whatever. Activities. We all know that. There's one way that you could say it. I think that it's activities.
It's not octopi.
Octopi is one way that you can say it, but I think
that's the way you say it if you don't want to sound like a freaking pretentious.
Yeah. Okay.
Not to.
I just wrote jump on his head 3 times and you win easy peasy. Really? So yeah, it's really fun. I really like the Turtle Zone. Next is Mario Zone.
Crazy.
Mario Zone is kind of.
Do you go into Mario's bowels?
You go into like this Mario.
Oh, that's what that is.
Like toy.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, it's like a Mario.
Why did I start there every time I loaded up the game?
You started here?
I would start there and then I would go into it. Let me see what it looks like.
Okay.
Is this? Oh, I did this one.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I just did the first. How did it? I did the first level of this one with the gears. I didn't even remember this.
I'm playing this like
this is the one that took me like 6, 7, 8 lives to beat.
Oh, but so you beat this one?
No, I just beat the first level.
Well, it's really fun, and I'm playing it like a really weird way.
Because you're not holding the Switch.
And it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it's almost like an arcade game.
Yeah. But anyway, this one...
Okay, I did this one. No, you hit it.
Yeah, I hit it.
I just did the first level. How did I do that? Is there only one level on this?
No, there's 4.
I didn't get a coin. How did I... See, this is the thing here. I beat this first level, and then the only other thing I did was the tree. So, like... How did that happen?
I have no idea.
Oh, well. Dude.
But yeah, you're like inside a Mario, and there's a bunch of gears in there that are turning, and it's really fun.
That's what took me so long.
And
so it wasn't Mushroom Zone. Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
I didn't struggle through Mushroom Zone.
Okay, good. It's really fun because like it's all toy based. Like that's kind of cool. The idea. So it's like you got teddy bears bouncing along on beach balls and like there's bubbles all over the place and there's like Jack in the Boxes and toy soldiers. Yeah. It's really fun. This game is very creative when it comes to its enemies.
Yeah, that is really
Most
cool.
Mario games don't do that. It's just like Goomba, Koopa Trooper, and Piranha Plant. And that's like it, you know.
So who's the boss in Mario Zone?
Probably the worst boss in the entire game.
Okay. Is it?
It's the pigs. 3 pigs.
Oh yeah, the pigs.
You didn't do it.
No, I didn't. I don't know what that
is. So it's 3 pigs, and they're inside these houses, right? It's the 3 little pigs.
Oh, and you're the big bad stinky wolf.
Yep, exactly. And so the first pig comes along, and it's rolling on the ground, and so then you have to time your jumps to hit him, and then he starts rolling really, really fast. Then the next one is bouncing along, and you have to time your hits on that, and then he starts bouncing really fast.
How many times do you have to bounce on him?
3. And then the last one does like these really, really long, tall bounces. Ooh. And so you have to jump right as he's hitting the ground.
Not get hit by him.
You can't get hit by him.
Wow.
So honestly, on this one, like I remember I said that I was on the pigs, and Sarah was like, "Oh, dude, the pigs." Like really? She even remembered. Yeah.
So
she's played this game.
Okay, that's cool.
And she was like, "The pigs suck."
You guys have something in common.
Yeah, finally. And this one also has 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has 4 levels.
Okay.
And the pigs, jeez, man. And also, like, the level before the pigs is really hard. It's like all these conveyor belts and bombs on these
Mario
tracks.
Zone's pretty tough.
It's tough, dude.
Okay.
I remember having a really hard time with Mario Zone when I had my Game Boy. And then, like, literally, I would kill one pig, save state. Kill another pig, save state. And then, you know, it was tough. It was tough, dude. And sometimes I would kill a pig and like be little Mario and be like, no, I need big Mario for the last pig. I'm gonna go back and redo it. Yeah, dude, it is rough.
Wouldn't even test your metal chances. I don't know what I was.
Yeah, I don't know either, dude.
Okay, where'd you go after Mario Zone?
I went to the Pumpkin Zone, which is it's really fun. It's like a haunted house.
Okay.
So there's 4 levels to this one. It's really cute. There's like, you know, there's like little Goombas with like Jason masks on with like a knife stuck in them.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
graphic.
Yeah, there's also like boos.
Oh, good.
So like if you look at them, they stop moving.
Boos. Plural of boo. The ghosts. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant booze.
Oh, like liquor? Uh-huh. No, there's boo.
You're like Mario kind of goes off the rails a little.
Yeah.
You know, has to turn in his 5-year sobriety coin or chip or whatever.
Yeah, literally. And then there's also a sneaky Dracula.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really cute.
That's not the boss though.
No. And then there's also like Goomba ghosts. So these ghosts that fly along that look like Goombas, but you can't kill them.
You can't because they're ghosts.
They're ghosts. And it's also really cool because like it's almost like there's like lightning flashing outside. And when the lightning isn't on, it's like dark in there so you can't see the platforms. And then the lightning flashes and then they show up. The platforms do, so then you have to memorize where the platforms are. It's one of my favorite zones.
I was gonna ask what like dynamic or new physics is added. Physics. Is added there.
Yeah. That's what it is.
That's kind of it.
Yeah,
that's
and
cool,
it's really cool. Yeah, like Mario Zone has like conveyor belts. The Turtle Zone has like it's kind of the same as like the sap.
Okay.
It has like this like oozy stuff that you can get through.
Because that's the water temple.
Yeah. Basically the water temple, yeah. And then the Pumpkin Zone has like it's playing with like light and dark. And it's really, really cool. And then the boss for this one is a witch. And she goes invisible and then shows up again, and you're standing on these 3 cauldrons with like lids on top of them. And then they bubble up and then the like lid flies off, and if you're on the platform, it flies you into a bunch of spikes that are on the ceiling. So you have to time your jumps and then jump on the witch. It's like one of the most well balanced bosses because it's not too hard, but it's also not like dumb easy.
Yeah.
I talking about it, like I freaking love the Pumpkin Zone.
That sounds like it's more of like a you versus the map, Like the boss herself.
She's really easy. She shows up, you jump on her, that's it. But then you're timing your jumps
cool.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Environment, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
So that's the pumpkin zone.
Pumpkin zone. The next one is the macro zone, which you're like a little tiny guy. Which doesn't make sense. It should be micro zone, right? Because macro is big, micro is small. Let's see, how many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So there's one more that I didn't have any notes on, but I can talk about because it's fun.
Tell me about the macro zone.
Macro zone, you're in this house, and you're little tiny baby Mario in a big house, and so you're fighting against like rats. And this is actually the one where you can farm lives, and that's what I did a lot.
Farm?
Yeah. So you just start a level. And then you go along the path, and it's like a pretty easy level, and you can get like 5 lives in one pass through the level. Then you go back and do it again. So I would do that a lot on my Game Boy. I don't remember which one it is. It's the one...
Can you do that, forever?
Yeah, you can just go back.
Lives?
Yeah, you could. It would take a long time because the levels... It's not easy.
Okay.
But there's a lot of lives.
Like it might cost 2 lives, but if you get 5...
Yeah,
profit.
Exactly. Yep.
Capitalism.
Yep, exactly. It's the name of the game, buddy. Or it's one of those things where like...
Budget. Sorry, go ahead.
The checkpoint in one of the levels, if you get... Let's say that you get 3 lives, and then you die, you go back to the checkpoint, and you've profited 2 lives. So that's what I would do. I would go through and just farm lives. It took so long, dude.
But that's how you ended with like 40 lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can buy them at the little coin shop thing.
Yep. So that's what I would do. And also you can get some coins on that level on your way there. It's, yeah.
Eventually, when I was playing, I wasn't even looking at the coins anymore, dude. I was just trying to survive. I was like, I just want to get to different levels, experience new things.
Yep.
The save states, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
that will come in handy in other Game Boy games I play on my Switch.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah.
If I can learn how to do it.
It's super easy. One of the notes that I wrote is ants. You're tiny in grass and fighting ants. I don't know why I wrote that, but you're like walking in the grass. You're like in the garden, and you're fighting ants.
Different types of ants? Too?
Yeah. I put then you're in the house, and at the end you go up the chimney into the last level. So you like go up a chimney, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
And then the last level is super memorable to me because I used it to farm hearts. So it was actually the last level.
Okay, the 3rd or 4th?
Let me go to it.
Not the boss level.
It'll be it is the boss level.
Okay.
Let me see it. Start. Can I not do it because I've done it before? That's probably what it is. So yeah, it's the last level. That's the one that I used to farm hearts. And I wrote that the mouse guy is annoying. The mouse is the final boss that you fight.
It's
there.
Like Ratatouille.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Exactly like Ratatouille. Where he is like going through trying to collect ingredients to make a soup, and you have to stop him.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's kind of like the old lady's house in Ratatouille.
Oh yeah.
Remember how it starts in that old lady's house? Are you asking
me if I know how Ratatouille starts?
Because then they leave the old woman's house after she shoots her shotgun a bunch of times for some reason. Which, by the way, no protection. She doesn't have ear protection or eye protection. It's in her own house. She's shooting a shotgun at these mice.
Yeah.
And then they leave and go into the sewer. The sewer. And none of that is ever even thought of again. I mean, that's like a whole separate, like that's not even really part of the movie. Because then they're in Paris.
Yeah. Well, they were in Paris the whole time.
Well, yeah, they just weren't in the actual city.
She was just in the campo.
Because the sewer took them into the city. And so that whole part of the movie is irrelevant, and it's just confusing why they even included it.
Are you just using this as a platform to talk about why you don't like Ratatouille?
I like it.
No, you don't.
It's a cute little kids movie.
I was talking to Donnie about this yesterday, and he's ruined Ratatouille for himself. Like, I told him, I was like, quick little background for all the listeners. Me, Donnie, and Justin are in a constant debate.
And our 4th coworker.
What, Jonathan? Jonathan's on my side.
I know.
Okay, good. Yeah, so Jonathan
He's just in there. It's 2v2.
Yeah, it's 2v2. We are saying that Ratatouille is Pixar's magnum opus. And you guys are saying... Is that
what Jonathan thinks too?
I think that he thinks that it's Pixar's best movie.
Okay, because he really likes Cars as well.
Yeah, he does. He does. I don't like mentioning that because it kind of hurts my case. But... but I think that it's their magnum opus. And Donnie is like vehemently
against that.
Against that.
Which is the funny thing is he doesn't argue in terms of another movie as their magnum opus.
No, he just says it's not.
Tries to belittle Ratatouille.
Yeah. And he's gotten to the point where I asked him yesterday, I was like, I will never do this. But if I were, excuse me, Valjean. I was going to say Jonathan.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Jonathan. If I were to say, hey, Ratatouille's not Pixar's magnum opus, would you like the movie? He was like, I don't think that I can like it. I was like, you ruined it for yourself. I didn't do anything.
Yeah. And
you ruined Ratatouille for yourself.
He hasn't convinced you that it's any worse than you thought, right? Like you haven't budged in your opinion.
Yeah, his arguments are so...
But now he has one less enjoyable movie to watch.
Yep.
I'll admit it's a good movie.
He's starting to do the same for Harry Potter too. Because he says that Harry is like a bad protagonist.
He feels the same about Remy.
Yeah, he feels the same about Remy. That's like his main thing about the movie is that...
Remy's dislikable.
Yeah, and I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so he's starting to ruin Harry Potter for himself, and I really hope he doesn't.
The argument is between Ratatouille and Surf's Up most of the time, because Donnie and I both love Surf's Up,
but not as Pixar's magnum opus. No, Surf's Up is better than Ratatouille, which I disagree with.
We tried to take Ratatouille down and build Surf's Up. Yeah, for no reason.
Yep.
Except for my internal debate is what's the best animated movie ever?
Cloudy with Chance Meatballs. I'm just kidding.
But Iron Giant is up there, which
it's
is
really
a problem.
Good. Yeah, I think that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is probably
that one's really good. I like Surf's Up, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Iron Giant more than Ratatouille. But I'm not going to say it's a terrible movie. I just think anyway, we don't need to get into
I think that there are many animated movies that are better than Ratatouille. Ratatouille is just my favorite. Anyway, next. The mouse guy's annoying. Last level is the space zone. And you get to the space zone in a very interesting way. You kind of have to go through a different level to get to the space zone.
Okay. That's a hippo.
Yep. And so you go to this like hippo zone, and then the hippo is sleeping and puts out like a snot bubble. And you jump into the snot bubble and then fly to space.
Okay. I did remember seeing something like that on the speed run I watched.
Yep. So I wrote down hippo snot bubble took me to space. And then once you're in space, you have like kind of like zero gravity and you're flying through, and there are these like pigs shooting cannonballs at you, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I love them.
Well, it's space.
Yeah. So, and as you're going through, there are these stars that are kind of like going up and down. You can't hit the stars.
Oh, and they hurt you.
It's pretty hard. Like the last level's pretty hard. This was the hardest level for me to beat on my Game Boy.
Is it just one level?
No, it's 3 different levels.
Oh.
I wonder if I can, to get to Space Zone, I'd have to go through
the whole thing.
Let's see if I can. So then.
Oh yeah.
So you can actually just hold A and get through the whole level.
Okay. Because you're floating in a snot bubble.
Yeah, so I'm floating in a snot bubble, getting through the level, and then we'll get to the space zone and I can talk about it. But the last boss for the space zone is this little alien guy, and he's really hard. He was the hardest one for me to beat, bar none.
More difficult than the 3 Little Pigs.
Oh, yeah. Really? Way more difficult than the 3 Little Pigs. I don't know why he was so hard for me, but he really was.
Space guy.
He's this little guy, and he shoots out a little beam straight in front of him, and he's floating up in like the top right, and he shoots out a little space beam, and then he drops this ball below him that then shoots over to the side and then makes like a firework up straight. So it's like the whole zone is just covered in
a lot of dynamics,
stuff that's gonna hurt you. Oh yeah.
Wait,
also,
what is this? Oh, I got here.
Every once in a while, there's a little mini game that you play where there are these mice that are like jumping around, and then you hit a button, and then they like bite the wire, and then your little electricity thing goes up through this like plinko sort of a thing and gets to the top, and then you get
like a reverse plinko. Yeah. So is there even a way to control where that spark goes?
No, you're just waiting. It's random.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but that's
because either way you get an award.
Yeah, you get an award either way. So the way that you hit him is after a while he'll swoop down and go to the other top corner, and then you have to jump on him in that time.
Wow, so you're just surviving until he swoops down.
And the way that I figured it out is that if you hide in either corner, you don't get hit by either of his projectiles. Oh. But you have to be like really in that corner.
And crouched, probably.
Yeah, so then you just wait, and then if the timing is right and he doesn't have one of his projectiles going out, when he swoops down, you can jump in and hit him and then hide in the other corner.
And you have to hit him
3 times.
Okay.
It's hard, man.
3 is a magic number for this game.
And then...
So I was curious about the space zone because I was like, how does the map work? Like, how do you go to a different level?
Yeah.
You're just in space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I learned this... well, I heard this on the speed run, but in the space zone, you move quicker on the ground than when you're floating.
Yeah.
Okay, so that might be a good tip for anyone who gets there.
But the ground is a lot more dangerous. Just saying.
Sounds like space.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Then after Space Zone, you got 6 golden coins, baby. And then you get to go to the castle. So the castle is really hard because there's no checkpoints.
Oh.
And it's about the same length as
one level.
One continuous level that's very, very difficult.
Really?
Yeah. There's no checkpoints and it's really hard. I set up a lot of save points on this level because there's like different themes as you're climbing up the level. So like the first one is like these piranha plants are shooting at you and you have to jump over them. And then there are like these little Wario electric guys that are bouncing around. You got to jump on them 2 times, but they kind of work like the DVDs like screen saver thing where they going around into the corners and bouncing off the walls. And then they introduce like 3 of them in the same room, and you're having to like jump on them 2 times each. It's really difficult. Really difficult.
Eljon is losing his marbles right now.
Yeah.
What do you need, buddy? You were outside for like 20 minutes earlier. Are you hungry? Okay. He just spoke with me.
Yeah. You guys had a conversation. Yeah, so you then once you get all the way to the end, right? And it has like every time that you go from one quote unquote level to the next level, they give you a power up.
Okay.
And then you have to fight Wario 3 different times.
Wow. With
different like first he's just Wario, then he's Fire Flower Wario, then he's Bunny Wario.
Okay.
And he's difficult.
Let me ask you this. Is there a power up that you prefer to have when you face Wario? And do you have this? If you can keep it, do you have the same one for?
I don't think so. I think that they kind of theme it out to where like you technically don't have a power up during the first time you fight Mario.
Oh.
Then the next one, I think that you get a Fire Flower. Then the next one, you get the bunny.
Okay.
But the bunny is the best because you want to. Because he jumps in the air and then falls down, shakes everything, and then a bunch of things fall from the ceiling. You want to be floating because when he falls to the ground, if you're on the ground, you get stunned. Oh. So you want to be floating when he hits the ground and then float over and jump on top of him.
Okay.
So the bunny's
because nothing's going to fall on top of him.
Yeah.
So you know that's a safe place to be. Yeah. And then you land on his head 3 times, I'm assuming.
Yep. 3 times each, and then you beat the game.
Wow.
That's it.
Save Princess Zelda.
No. There's actually no Princess Peach in this game at all. You're just saving the castle. So then once it's done, it turns into Mario Castle.
Oh.
And then that's it.
It's like the end of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Go back home, storm the castle.
Yep. Become king.
Become king.
And of Gondor and marry an elven lady.
I'm talking about the hobbits.
Oh.
You didn't get to this
They don't do that.
Yeah, you didn't finish. You remember because you listened to 50 hours, you can do 3 more.
Yeah, and I've gotten to the point now where it's like, I'm not going to start there. I'd have to like start the whole last book over.
No, probably not. I mean, you're very familiar with the story.
Yeah, I might just go back like a couple chapters.
Yeah, or even...
There. Just a familiar... You're like, or even just start it.
I mean, just 5 minutes of audiobook is probably enough to catch you up to speed.
That's true.
Anyway.
Yeah, but so...
Maybe someday.
So I would highly recommend people play this game because if you do the save state stuff... It's just a fun little game. You know, you don't have to be too stressed about losing a bunch of lives. The Switch is definitely the best place to play it on because you can play a Game Boy game on your big screen. It's awesome, dude.
I did that a little bit, yeah. It wasn't Game Boy Color, but but it was there.
Yeah.
Save states is a big deal. If you have Nintendo Switch Online, you mentioned earlier this is one of the better Game Boy games that's available.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the two best Game Boy games available. Ooh.
What is the Metroid one?
That's Metroid 2 Return of Samus. I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
We'll figure it out later. I think that my favorite games on here would have to be Tetris, 100%, Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins, and my favorite of all of them is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX.
Oh, that's the one that's on there?
Yeah.
Wow. Has it lost any of its value for you, or is it just you just keep finding new things you like about it?
It's not that I'm finding new things I like about it. It's just like so... It's like my happy place. I'm just like, here we are. The music's great.
Wow.
The art is timeless.
Yeah.
It just works really well. The one thing I haven't done, I haven't played the Switch remaster of it. Because they made a whole remaster of it with a whole new art style. Yeah. It looks amazing. I haven't played it yet.
You got to buy it.
I got to buy it. So, it's $60. So I can't recommend it because you can get it for free. Yeah. And I'll get it.
You'll get it eventually.
And I want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Because it is different than the original. Mm-hmm. There are some things that they did as like quality of life stuff. So I want to talk about the differences between it and the original. Yeah. But I don't think that I can recommend it. Right. Because the original's just so good. So yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No. I mean, that was about Link's Awakening. But we're obviously gonna do a review of this game. An episode on it.
What game?
Or more than one. Link's Awakening.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't played it yet. I haven't played that much Zelda.
Yeah.
If you already have Nintendo Switch Online, first of all, I recommend getting that anyway.
Yeah.
So yes,
if you have a Switch,
yeah,
get it.
If you don't have a Switch, don't get it.
Yeah. It's almost
not
worthless.
Worth it. Yeah. This game, it was frustrating for me, but it is really cool because it's like. This is so old and it's still like surprisingly creative. Like I didn't think there were creative people until, at least 2010.
Yeah, me neither.
But they're out there.
Oh,
they were out there, I should say.
Yeah,
they're dead now. But
it's crazy how creative, like old games are. Because you always think like, old
it's just
game.
Old. Yeah.
But like I was playing a Metroid game recently. And this level, I was just blown away. I was like, this is one of the most creative things I've ever seen.
Dude, that's cool.
We'll talk about it in that that thing. But I was like, I've never seen anything like this before. It was amazing.
Do we want to read and write review for this or?
We're like an hour.
Yeah. I don't know that we'd be able to find any.
Yeah.
We might be able to, but.
Yeah.
This is a game from 1992, so
yeah,
it's probably there's a lot that's
tried and tested.
Yeah, so
yeah,
we're not gonna break any ground anyway.
No.
I was very frustrated by this game,
but
if I'd known about save states, and also I am still just like playing a lot of Breath of the Wild. Like recently, I haven't been. I've been really busy. That also has kept me from Super Mario Land 2.
Yeah.
But if it weren't for that, I would have played more.
Yeah.
I probably would have enjoyed it more if I had learned about save states. Also, if I had learned about the Game Boy Color thing. That's not a big deal to me, but it is cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. You can play it on with a Game Boy filter, a Game Boy Pocket filter, and a Game Boy Color filter.
What's the really Game Boy Pocket?
Game Boy Pocket just looks. It's just a lot crisper. Like here's what the Game Boy version would look like.
Yeah, that's what that's it.
And then here is how the Game Boy Pocket looks. Just a lot crisper. It's like more black and white than anything.
Yeah.
And it looks really nice.
Hey, what's this thing? What's A, B, and C here?
These are the different save points that you can do. So you can have 3 different save files.
It's like, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so the 23 is how many lives you have. Yeah.
Understood.
Yep.
And then you can clear it.
Yep.
Because 23 isn't enough to go anywhere. So
No. All right.
That's it, man. I don't know what else to say about this.
No.
Valjean's about to bite my ankle if I don't give him attention.
Yep.
So
thanks for listening, everybody. We're so grateful for anybody who decides to take the time to listen to us talk about anything. It's crazy.
Recently, we've done we did paper pencil 52 deck.
Card
deck thing.
Yeah.
A lot of like non-video games.
Yeah.
We're really pushing ourselves to do more video games.
Yep.
It's a little bit easier with the whole budget thing.
Yeah.
Kind of. In some ways it's more difficult.
Yeah, but
it's just more limiting. It's not more difficult.
Yeah.
But we love it so far.
Limitation breeds creativity.
That's what we say here at the Free Game Podcast.
Where budget gaming is our number one priority.
Yep. And, number 2 priority.
Yeah. Number 1 is have fun.
Having fun.
Yeah.
Number 1, safety, of course. Safety first.
Actually, number 1 is God.
God. And our wives. Number 2, safety.
Number 3, having fun.
Number 4, budget gaming.
Budget gaming.
And number 5,
it's free game.
It's free game.
And number 6,
Kibo, take us out.
Hey, free game, talking gaming day and night. This the show that you've been missing, guaranteed to get you hyped. Up, down, left, start, better charge up your controller. The show is taking over with Justin and with Holden. Hey, phase 10, Halo Reach, Magic the Gathering. Plenty games we talking, cause that's what we got a passion in. Hey, restart, run it back, let's play like we in the arcade. Homie, this is free game, let's go.